At the beginning of October 2019, the world record for beating Grand Theft Auto San Andreas was 3 hours, 52 minutes and 7 seconds. 2 weeks later, it was less than 20 minutes. So what on earth happened? On the 5th of October, the San Andreas speedrunner Powdinet dropped a Reddit post titled, "Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, skip that saves over 3 hours in any percent." He outlined a ridiculous strategy that would enable players to go from essentially the start of the game to the very final mission. These types of major skips aren't necessarily new to speedrunning. The most famous of these types of strategies is likely the wrong warp in Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Using very specific tricks, we can go from the Deku Tree, which is basically the first dungeon of the game, to the end of the very last dungeon, enabling players to beat the game in under 20 minutes. Even in the Grand Theft Auto series, this type of exploit has been seen before. In 2016, a glitch known as Script Stack Underflow was uncovered that allowed speedrunners to beat GTA Vice City in less than 10 minutes. These glitches are crazy, and truth be told, upon initial viewing, a lot of people think they are fake, or the product of hacking or cheats. But they are indeed very real, albeit extremely complex and difficult to grasp. It has always been fascinating to me how games can be manipulated in such extreme ways. This new San Andreas skip is really cool, and today we will learn the basics of how it is achieved. It is a very precise trick, and has a bunch of non-obvious moving parts. Hopefully, after this video you'll have a better understanding of just what is going on when speedrunners beat GTA San Andreas in less than 20 minutes. Let's jump straight into it. Upon gaining control of CJ, the first thing we need to do is get hold of a police bike. Police spawn in random locations, but it's usually not too hard to find one relatively quickly. The police bike is necessary for several key steps throughout the run, but at present, we need it to activate the Vigilante mission, which can only be done from a police vehicle. We don't plan to actually complete the Vigilante mission though. The reason we activate it is so that we can cancel it at a very specific moment. That moment lies 82,070 milliseconds after starting the game. The mission needs to be cancelled within a window of just 33 milliseconds. Luckily, we do have some indication of where this window lies, and players can use the in-game time to help with the timing. The mission needs to be cancelled just as the in-game clock turns to 7:46. There is no way to know if you've cancelled it at the right time until the second half of the speedrun, so you basically just have to hope at this point. Cancelling the mission at this precise moment sets an internal variable to the value needed. During this first phase of the run, we also need to accumulate $10,000 so that we can purchase a safe house later. The best known way is to search for and kill drug dealers. Drug dealers spawn randomly, so there is a bit of luck required here to find 5 of them quickly. Once we have the money, we need to head home and park the police bike inside of our garage. This will prevent the bike from despawning, as we will need it again later. Here, we also start the mission Big Smoke. Completing Big Smoke grants access to the next mission, which we will use to perform the major skip. It also activates the first phone call, which we will use for the next glitch. Throughout this entire run, it is imperative that we stay at least 80 meters away from vending machines. This is because vending machines will activate a script that will change the internal value we set up earlier. So the quickest routes between all of these locations usually can't be taken, and we need to take a detour. Before finishing Big Smoke, we also need to acquire the box fill. This is needed so that we can activate the burglar mission in the next part of the run. After finishing Big Smoke, we park the van in the garage to stop it from despawning, and then save the game. Saving the game will progress the time of day forward 6 hours, which we need to do as the burglar mission can only be started between 8 PM and 6 AM. The next section of the speedrun revolves around a value called On Mission. When we are not in a mission, On Mission is set to 0. This tells the game that it is okay to start new missions. When a mission is active, the flag is set to 1. This tells the game to prevent new missions from starting. Our end goal is to be able to start the mission Vigilante during a specific moment of the Rider mission. Obviously, normally this wouldn't be possible, as when the Rider mission is active we can't start new missions. So we need to perform a series of steps so that the on-mission value is 0 while we are in the Rider mission. The first step is to hop inside the box fill and head to a safe house. When we get to the safe house, we need to purchase it just before a phone call comes in. The phone call is set to arrive 20 seconds after the Big Smoke mission was completed, and given that the travel time to the safe house is greater than 20 seconds, we need to reset the call timer while we are on the way. This can be done by starting the burglar mission and then cancelling it. When the mission ended message pops up, we can use the timer on screen to count 20 seconds. So in this case, the message came up at late 2034, so we should buy the safe house at late 2054. Though we need to time it ever so slightly before the 20-second mark so that the phone call comes in just after we make the purchase. The phone call stops the game from checking to see if a purchase has been made, which gives us enough time to enter the van and start the burglar mission. However, we need to use a technique called call holding, or else we would answer the call before we enter the van, which would ruin the trick. We can hold calls by pressing and holding the action key. Calls can be held indefinitely, and when we release the action key, the call will be answered. That is, of course, unless we release the call while inside a vehicle, which will cancel the call completely. This will reset the 20-second call timer, after which the call will repeat. So we make the purchase just before the call comes in. We hold the call until we enter the van, and then release the call, which cancels it. Now that the phone call has ended, the game will check to see if any purchases have been made. This check is on a global timer and happens once every 1.5 seconds. In order to execute this trick correctly, we need to start the burglar mission on the same frame that the game performs this check. If this happens, the burglar mission will become active, but the on-mission value will be set to 0. There is no way to set this trick up, and it's basically a case of spamming the mission start button and hoping that it lands on the correct frame. Luckily, you can keep trying if it fails. However, if the purchase check happens before you start the burglar mission, the trick will fail, and the run will be over. When the purchase check does happen and the game detects that you have bought the safe house, a blip will sound letting you know. After the blip, reload the autosave, which should place you where the blip happened, with the burglar mission active and the on-mission value at 0. If you failed the trick, the autosave will put you back home. Now we head home to prepare for the Ryder mission, and this is where the previous setup pays off. Before starting Ryder, we need to wait for a phone call to come in, at which point we can hold the call. Now, the on-mission flag is set at 1, but because the burglar mission is still running, we can cancel that and set it back to 0. This leaves us with what is called an on-mission 0 call. We trigger the next mission, which is Ryder, and during the fade out we release the call we were holding. When the Ryder mission starts up, we need to immediately enter the vehicle before CJ answers the call we just released. This achieves two things. The first is that it cancels the call and sets the on-mission flag back to 0, as starting the Ryder mission set it to 1. The second is that it loads the phone call animation while still skipping the call. This will come in handy a little bit later. Now we head to the barber to get a haircut. On the way, we need to collect some grenades, which we will use in a couple of minutes. Before entering the barber, another call will come in which we will need to hold during the entire barber sequence. Inside the barber, we need to get one of two specific haircuts so that Ryder says the correct line when we come back outside. During the fade out as we leave the barber, we release the call we were holding, which glitches the next cutscene and gives movement to CJ. The fact that we loaded the call animation earlier in the run means we can hang up the call before Ryder says his first line. If we hung up later during his line, it would skip his line and make the rest of the run impossible. Because the cutscene is supposed to be running, the camera is now fixed in place, but we can fix this by re-entering the barber. In order to skip to the end of the game, we need to start the vigilante mission at a specific time in the cutscene that was playing when we left the barber. Here is how the cutscene normally plays out.
You know something? I take it back. Old Reese still got it cracking. Man, what's this? Shit look ridiculous.
The window we have to work with opens at 1 second after the camera change after Ryder's first line, and it closes 2 seconds after that camera change. I'll play the cutscene again, but I'll highlight the screen during that window.
You know something? I take it back. Old Reese still got it cracking. Man, what's this? Shit look ridiculous.
This is all seemingly impossible, as there is no way we can start Vigilante this quickly after leaving the barber, but we can restart Ryder's line repeatedly by pressing pause, which starts the audio again. So for the next section of the run, players will need to press pause every few seconds. The cutscene audio can be extended indefinitely using this method.
I take it back. Old Reese still got it cracking. You know something? I take it back. Old Reese still got it cracking. You know something? I take it back.
After leaving the barbers for the second time, we need to head back home, which is where we stored the police vehicle. When we arrive, we first need to restart the Ryder mission. This is because when we executed the cutscene glitch that enabled movement, we lost the ability to enter vehicles, so starting Rider gives us back this ability. Upon starting the Rider mission, the on-mission flag is set to 1, which would prevent us from starting Vigilante. In order to fix this, we used the grenade we picked up earlier to fail the mission. So we drive Rider to the garage where the police bike is stored, then lob a grenade at the car which blows it up, failing the mission. After we throw the grenade, we also need to get on the police bike to get ready to start Vigilante. And here is where everything comes together. When the grenade blows up the car and fails the mission failed screen will appear. This will skip Rider's first line of that cutscene we have been extending. As soon as the mission failed cutscene appears, we need to start the process of getting off the bike. This process takes approximately 1 second, and we can still start the Vigilante mission until the process is fully completed. Once 1000 milliseconds has passed in the cutscene, we need to start the Vigilante mission. As soon as the Vigilante mission is activated, because of everything we've set up previously in the run, the game will start the mission called End of the Line, which is the final mission of the game. During the fade out into the mission, the process of getting off the bike will complete, which fails the Vigilante mission. If we didn't do this, Vigilante would continue to run and the game would crash. Now, remember that 33 millisecond window at the beginning of the run? The one that we needed to cancel the Vigilante in? If we missed that window, the game will crash at this point as well. This is the moment of truth to find out if we actually hit the window successfully. Ideally, we did manage to do everything correctly, and as mentioned, the mission End of the Line will start. Not only that, but it's conveniently the final part of the mission as well. The rest of the run is extremely straightforward and is performed as normal. This final mission essentially acts as an auto-scroller, and we need to simply go through the motions until the fire truck we are chasing loses control and crashes off the bridge, finishing the game. This glitch really is crazy, and has so many epic strategies that all come together in an amazing way to make it happen. Even if you're not a big fan of speedruns that exploit glitches, you have to appreciate just how complex and genius this strategy is. The amount of deep knowledge required to make this happen is absolutely astonishing. The first person to execute the strategy in a legitimate run and use it to beat the existing record was Joshima's. This is the moment it was successfully pulled off for the first time.
One elephant. Yes! Yes! Let's fucking go! The elephants! For the elephants! FAQ split. Yes! Fuck your fucking shitty setup, Powdinet. I'll just make my own one up. Fuck that. Alright. World record! Yeah!
Joshima's managed to complete the game in 1 hour, 32 minutes and 8 seconds, beating the previous record by almost 3 hours. Over the next week, the record was lowered all the way down to 19 minutes and 34 seconds, which was achieved by Powdinet on the 15th of October. Speaking of Powdinet, a huge thanks to him for helping me learn and understand this strategy. Please go and show your support and reward him for figuring out this epic strategy by following him on YouTube and Twitch. Links will be in the description. And if you want to be a huge champion, please subscribe to my channel. I'm really trying to get to 100,000. In my previous Doom video, I issued the challenge to beat my time of 1 minute and 3 seconds on E2M6. Congratulations to the following heroes who managed to beat my time. Also, I'm sorry for missing a couple of people who beat my previous Quake challenge, so I'll include them here as well. Thank you so much for watching, you absolute legends. I hope you are having a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next video.